Did you just find out your boss did something completely unfair? Oh, maybe they have a complete double standard. That's the worst. If you're in this situation, I'm going to take you through the steps to get to the other side of it and help you cope with what you think is a really unfair boss. Step number 1, take a deep breath. Okay, who am I kidding? A deep breath is probably not going to be enough. If you're in this boat, you are probably in the midst of a frenzy of things going on in your head, maybe even going on all throughout your body. Sweaty palms, racing heart, like, what? That's so unfair. So it might take a brisk walk around the block, a punching bag, or a Zumba class to get that out of your body. And that's an important first step. So if you need to press pause and go burn off some of that energy, let those hormones kind of flood out of your system, just hit pause. I'll wait. The next thing is find a neutral party that you can share the example with, just to help you calibrate whether this was kind of unfair or not. So here's the biggest problem. There's no such thing as fair. I know that sounds weird, but there really is no objective definition of what is fair and what is not. Fairness is, you can take an entire university class just in what is fair. Fair can be being exactly equal and consistent, or fair can be changing the outputs relative to the inputs. We can have equality and we can have equity. And, I don't need to tell you that those conversations are raging in society right now. Like, who gets the bigger slice of cake, the 5-year-old or dad? Having equal size pieces of cake is equal, consistent. Is that fair? Or is having a bigger piece of cake for the bigger person, is that fair because it's more equitable? There's no right answer. So one of the benefits of sharing the scenario, talking it through with somebody who's got some emotional distance from it, is that they're likely going to be able to say, well, maybe this or maybe that, or what if, and help you consider some options that may mean that maybe the boss wasn't as unfair as you thought at first glance. Then, if you've taken a brisk walk, if you've got that adrenaline out of your system, if you've moved past the original emotional reaction, and next you've got some feedback from somebody to help you kind of decide, is this a big deal, not a big deal? Is this the kind of unfairness that could really thwart my trust in my boss? Or is this one of those like, well, life is hard kind of situation? Once you've done those two things, then you need to make the most important choice of all. What do you do now? The first option, and I actually believe this is a good option in some situations, is to do nothing. You can, now that you've relaxed a little and had some helpful feedback from somebody with a little bit more distance, you can say, maybe I was overreacting. Maybe there's information that I don't know. Maybe there are reasons for the decision that I can't understand, and I'm going to give my manager the benefit of the doubt. That is a really good option in many cases. Now, that option has to mean that you actually let it go. There is no option 1B, which is don't do anything but hold a grudge. That's not a good option. But your other option is, and usually I pick option 2 after a good night's sleep. And you go, no, it's not going away. I keep coming back to it. It's a bit of an intrusive thought. It's still really rubbing me the wrong way. I need to do something about it. So in that case, I want you to sit and think about it and actually document what you want to say to your manager, how you perceive the situation before you say anything to them. This is not a situation to go in and just like off the cuff try and, express your feelings. You'll probably say things that may, actually reduce your boss's favorable view of you. So don't do that. But do think about what is it that they decided and how am I interpreting that? And what am I seeing as how that may play out in the future or why that's a threat to me? As you start to write that stuff down, it's probably going to be full of judgments and subjectivity and guesses and unflattering judgments. And it's really important that you not communicate that to your boss. You want to go through that until you get to the point where you say, okay, I know this is true, but I don't actually know this. I'm just assuming. So I can take that assumption out. But this is what I know. This is what I understand to be the decision. This is what I heard. This is what I saw, and pull everything else out. It's absolutely fine to share with your boss, this made me worried that, this promotion decision means I don't have a shot in the future and that I'm wasting my time here. You can be as subjective as you want about your own feelings, but never imply that this decision means the boss thinks that you have no hope of a future promotion, because we don't want to put words into their mouth. So take the time, figure out how you're interpreting their decision, why you're interpreting it as something that feels unfair, and why that unfairness is kind of shaking you. And then have a good question about, help me understand your decision process. What things were you factoring in when you made that call? What don't I understand about the decision that you made? Those kinds of questions that do a good job of expressing your frustration or your concern, but also show you to be mature and painted in a positive light. So those are the two good options. You can choose to move on and ignore it, or you can choose to address it in a way that's constructive and grown up. What you really shouldn't do is, continue to gripe and moan to other people about your boss's decision without ever giving your boss the chance to address your concerns. That's crappy, passive-aggressive BS, and that's not a good option. So you may feel like you're working for an unfair leader that has double standards or whatever else. That is awful. Nobody deserves to work for an unfair leader, but there are steps to go through to make sure that that it actually was something that could legitimately be considered unfair. And number two, to make sure that you are expressing that if it's something that is going to be an ongoing problem for you. So there are so many bad leaders, not just ones with double standards who are completely unfair, but check out this one.